Okay, I'm good. Let's go! Yeah, we bring the stars out. We bring the women and the cars and the cards out. Let's have a toast, a celebration, get a glass out. And we can do this until we pass out.
This, for me, is what Smarta is about. For those of you who have followed our journey, we are just like you. We are a small business, and we wouldn't exist without all of you who support us. And today is really important because this is bringing to life what we do online every day.
It's hard to believe now, but at the time, most people felt, in particular the industry, that an award show celebrating urban music was not needed or definitely not justified. Urban music, as we call it, has grown from niche to mainstream, and you only have to look at the charts and everywhere you go to hear, whether it's the likes of Tiny Temper and Dubs, etc., on the radio. And, the journey certainly hasn't been easy, but, there's been a lot of swimming against the stream, but we've been tenacious, and of course we've stuck with it.
We all need audiences. If we're starting a business, we need somebody to sell our stuff to. So I always look for an audience, and if I can find an audience, I try and make them an appropriate, timely and relevant offer. Okay, so I always think about those things. And in fact, the success of anything you're about to do, mainly your campaigns that you put in place to launch your businesses, maybe even to launch yourself within a corporate environment, if you want a better job, you want to bear these things in mind. Actually, 40% of your success is about your audience. It's about the people that you're speaking to. 40% of your success is about the offer you then make those people. And only about 20% is down to the execution and how gorgeous you look.
Anyone here ever told their employer to shove the job up their arse? Anyone ever thought about telling their employer to shove the job up their arse? That's more like it. I did that on the 17th of December 2004. You know what? I'd had enough rowing somebody else's boat. Shove your job up your arse. I'm going home. It was a wonderfully liberating experience. It really was for those 3 hours whilst I drove home. This is what you signed up for. Trust me. You're going to have this self-doubt. You're going to have this, I've got no money. Authorisation declined. Insufficient funds. Insufficient funds is okay. Insufficient desire isn't.
One of the things that I've learned, and I will put it under the banner of the feminine way of doing business, is about partnership. The days when I would walk into an office where I was paying the rent and employing 50 people have long gone as far as I'm concerned. And I'm working on some very big projects, and even at this point in my life, I probably am busier than I have ever been in my life. And the way I'm doing it now is that I believe it's about partnerships. It's about creating alliances and partnerships, whether it be marketing, whether it be I do this, you do that, how we can work together. That is the future. It's one of the aspects of the future.
The destabilization of North Africa and these secular movements that are toppling autocrats and dictators everywhere are being propelled by a social media-fueled revolution. This is a form of power that is applying to the political process. Let me give you a prediction and a forecast of what comes next. You ask what comes next, I'll tell you what comes next. The same thing is going to apply to large-scale economic entities. If you're a corporation, you had better get transparent or ask yourself what would happen if your worst secret were known.
Okay, here we go. When I say the, you say guru, the. When I say ju, you say on, ju. When I say papa, you say leaning, papa. When I say hip, you say gnosis, hip. When I say buy my, you say products, buy my. Give yourself a clap of success right there. Yeah, right there.
Syncing your social networks is a great way in order to keep your community up to speed with all of your corporate communications. So in order to have a great looking page, you don't need a big budget.
Have a list in your business called Why People Won't Do Business With Us. And I think everyone should have a really long list. I think, as Shah said, it could be anything from too old, too young, too expensive, not expensive enough, every single reason. And I think then if you want to put testimonials to work really well in your business, get a testimonial that answers every single one of those reasons why someone would say no. And as all you have to do then on your website is simply make a big deal out of all the testimonials that answer the issues that people are coming to you with.
Someone came to me and said, Shed, do you know what the year-on-year best-selling novelty product is? And I said, no. And he said, actually, it's this. and it's the remote control helicopters. And the reason is because younger boys buy these, and also older boys, who we call men in our society, also buy these. And he said, Shed, why don't you come up with a remote control helicopter? I said, yeah, I'd love to, actually. He said, why don't you do a flying pig, Shed? I said, nah, that's not very good. He said, why don't you do flying Willy? I said, even for me, no. So I came up with this idea, and ladies and gentlemen, here it is. This is my flying fuck. And for the first time in history, you can actually give a flying fuck now. And so, so ladies and gentlemen, here it is in action, my flying fuck.
When I started my business off, I was 25 grand in debt, no income, and I couldn't afford anything. Right, I couldn't afford anything. Trust me. Right, I could barely afford well, I couldn't afford a mortgage. I was tapping my missus up. But the reality is this: you can't afford not to. Okay, there's something about investing in your business that makes you get serious about it.
By promoting other people's services, you can use that as a tool to get them to leverage relationships for them to promote your business. So it's sort of like reciprocal marketing campaign.
Some of it is smoke and mirrors, and you think about you've got to turn up in the right vehicle to your client. How are they going to see it? There's no point going out and spending 25 grand on a car that they're not going to see. Why not chat somebody up and let them borrow their car for one important event and make sure that you do get them to see that vehicle. Okay. In some way, you just got to get creative. When you haven't got anything, then you're resourceful.
We are now in a world of what's called hard globalization. That means everybody's coming after your bit of business, wherever they are in the world. Everybody. Everybody. There could be some really smart Chinese guy parked up in Beijing or Shanghai, or somebody in Delhi or in Goa looking at an idea that he may have seen on the internet here, thinking, I can do that better, I can do that cheaper, I can do that faster, I can get there quicker, because those British guys, they don't work as fast as they think they should, and X, Y, and Z, and bang, bang, and before you know it, you could have a competitor and they're not even in your country. Then you've got to get on a plane and see what they're doing, how they're doing it.
And I just want to say thank you so much from the bottom of my heart to all of you for making today so enjoyable. Thank you, and we hope to see you again soon. Thank you very, very much.